Hello everyone. It's a beautiful day here on Oahu. We're sitting here in the cockpit of the Lucky Lady, the Curtiss XP-55 Ascender that we have in our inventory. Today we're going to do a little bit of a different video. I was thinking back to the last flight I took in the Messerschmitt. Not knowing the cockpit gauges, I think it might be useful to do a little bit of a cockpit tour. So I'm going to start with the XP-55 because I think I'm going to use this more than the Messerschmitt, but we'll get to that one eventually. This is straight out of the operations manual for the aircraft itself. So here we have the clock gauge. That's pretty obvious. Then we have the landing gear warning lights. Okay, cool. So down or up. We don't have them lit right now. That's fine. We have a compass, standard aviation compass. Can't use, I think there's like a button I push. Don't push buttons. I leaned into it a little bit there. There's supposed to be like a radio direction finding apparatus to this, and I guess that's what the big double arrow is, and it'll help you locate an airport beacon. I think they were only using airport beacons at the time, but okay. Then we have an altimeter. So far, pretty straightforward. That's everything we need in terms of that. Then we got our engine gauges here. We got the RPM gauge. Normally there's a placeholder here for a compass correction card. Okay, so that might be important information to have on demand. It's usually right above this parking brake here. That's the parking brake. Okay. Yeah, RPM gauge, the tachometer. What do you call it? Manifold pressure, obviously. All the engine gauges you might have in a car. An older car. We have fuel in gallons, but then we also have another fuel gauge, and then we have an oil gauge. And then we have coolant temperature gauge for the radiator. Very nice. We have the landing light switch here. Oxygen cylinder pressure. Okay, so yeah, the one I'm looking at in the manual doesn't have an oxygen system in it. It's probably introduced later on, but that is, I believe, my breathing apparatus. So there we go. Coming over to this side of the panel on the bottom, we have the rate of climb indicator. That's pretty explanatory. It's basically the angle at which you're climbing at. It's good to have that knowledge at hand, or diving at, so you have that. Then you have a left and right indicator with a level, bubble level. And then you have a mile per hour gauge right there, so there's your speed. This is really only important for engine purposes, and then obviously your oxygen system. Really look down there. Looks like an electrical panel with a voltmeter. And then you have starters, throttle, mix, rinse, spin. Had to. Oh, this is pretty important. This light is a low fuel level indicator. So if you're running out of fuel, that might blink. I don't know. We can test that at a point in the future. Irvis tank airplane. Did we lose an S? Okay. So yeah, all the gauges in front of you, and then you have guns on the stick. There's probably a radio down here. I might have to do some annotation after the fact. At least arrows. Yeah, the oxygen system originally was in the center here. It's showing it. It's weird. They moved it up. Well, what's over there? Oh. Cannon ammunition indicator. Okay, so they just moved it from that panel to over here. Well, I can't even see that while I'm flying, so that's pretty useless. But that's more useful than down there, I guess. So I'm glad I have that. Cool, that's probably got an interesting story to it. Alright, so I think that's pretty much everything in the cockpit here. And yeah. Might as well go up. I was planning this the whole time. I mean, I can't come out and just show you the cockpit. So we're gonna go over the island a little bit. I don't have a lot of fuel. Ooh. Really don't have any. Might just be going up. Yeah, the wind's in this direction. Yep, there we go. Whoa! Easy now. Yeah. Yeah, we really don't have much fuel, so we'll have to stay local. Well, time to test that fuel level indicator. So yeah, when we have our parking brake, rudder, stick, all that stuff. We got lights for the cockpit here. We may need it a little bit. Alright, let's bring it in and call it a video. Alright, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. I gotta be careful here. I damaged the landing gear on the Messerschmitt, so hold on. I'm sure somebody picked up on that when they saw the last video. Alright, I gotta go now. Easy now. There we go. Not bad. Alright, folks, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to put this thing to bed and go head to a nice tiki bar I know in the area. Hope you have a good one.